Hi, welcome back. My name's Georgia. If you don't know, I am a full-stack digital marketer with a content marketing specialism, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to integrate your form submission results on your Elementor website into your Discord server. Before I do that, I want to shout out to a guy called Miles, who was literally the only person who has ever left a legitimate comment on one of my blog posts. I sent a couple of videos ago my one about a single post template that if anyone actually comments on my website blog, then I will see it, and he has, and I noticed it, and I was very happy about that. It's literally him plugging a screen recording device, if anyone's curious, because one of my most popular videos is about how to screen record on your iPad via OBS on your laptop. Go check that out. Thank you, Miles. Now I'm going to switch to Safari here, but you can see me. This is my website. I'm gonna go on the tab. Now I built this page in Elementor. The idea of this page is it's a landing page for people who want to appear on a series I have done a couple episodes of. I did an episode last week with my bartender friend about how bartenders do marketing and how just general venues that serve alcohol and restaurants do marketing as well, and talked a bit about competitive bartending and how you can actually have to do marketing activities to win bartending competitions, and that was last week's video. And I want to do more episodes of them, so I would like to invite people who I don't know who work in media or marketing to come and do interviews with me of a similar nature. So this is the sign up page for that. I will link it in the description if anyone's interested as well, because I'm sure a few of you have found your way to this video. I would especially love the weirder jobs that people don't really hear about, like maybe prop master. I'd be curious about prop master, to be honest, but it's up to you. You let me know. Now I've got a little intro paragraph, a heading, and then down here we have a section with the form itself. I wanted to keep it super simple, but I'm going to click on the form widgets. Now, how to build an Elementor form is very different depending on the exact sort of form you want it to be and what you need it for, but I'm going to walk you through the data fields that I have in this one. So you go in the form widget, the form name, Intercrew application. I have the name, and I want someone's full name ideally, but you know, given that choice, maybe they want to do an alias for all I know. Their email, so I need to be able to contact them. Their Discord username, and their tag, because without the number I can't find them to send them an invite to the Discord server. They will also receive an email when they sign up to this to sort of let them know how they can access the server if I'm unable to get their username themselves, but that is a different thing that we will possibly do another video about another time. But I would like the option to be able to invite them to my server directly after the application so they can sort of hang out while I process any sort of systems. The date it's submitted, so I know if someone sent in their application ages and ages and ages ago and we haven't had a chance to actually record and they're still interested, then I would like to know that so I can prioritize them in my shooting schedule. Days they're available to record are little checkboxes, and I've done every day of the week so I can try and coordinate with them when I do get in touch and I can offer a reasonable date. Their profession, and then their description of their profession that they want to talk about, because like I said, I want to talk to the weirdos with the jobs that people don't really know about. Like everyone's heard of director, producer, actor, though I would still love to chat to you guys. It's not really going to be a unique sort of interview. People talk about those jobs all the time. A little bit selfishly, probably not going to get as many views because people know about it. So once someone's completed this form, I will get a copy of the submission in the back end of my website, and I will also get an email saying that I've received a submission. But I don't really like getting a bunch of emails about stuff to do with my website every single time someone processes something, every time someone has an order, every time someone makes a login, every time someone leaves a comment. If I had an email for every single one of those things, I'm going to stop checking the emails, and my inbox is for stuff other than my own creations. I also know that if I've had that email sitting there for a long time, I'm going to forget about it, I'm going to lose it in my inbox, and I would like to be able to get that information in a set place when I go looking for it. If it's in my inbox, I'm not going to know if I've missed it. And if I have to go into the back end of my website, I'm going to be clicking back and forth between a lot of pages and between my Discord server and a whole bunch of things. So I want it to go directly into the Discord server where it is relevant and where I'm able to find it easily and where there's no clutter. You might have services on your website that have the exact same problem, so that is why I'm making this video for you. So let's assume you've built your form, you know what you're doing. There is a section here in Elementor's form widget called Actions After Submit. And in that, you can choose all the different relevant softwares you'd like to connect to it. I've got MailerLite there for the automated email trigger, and then I've also got Discord. Luckily, Discord is something that they've designed to do it for, but there's a webhook functionality if you want to do it to another software that has a webhook option, but isn't in the list. Once you check Discord, then this little tab here appears. I'm going to walk you through each little data field. Now, the most important thing here is is the webhook. If I switch to my full screen here, you can see that I've got my Discord server, DibDab Digital Server. You're welcome to join. There is a link in the description for that as well. Here's another thing I want to make a forum for called Brand or Bland, where people are going to like submit their branding and see if it's like actually a good brand or if it looks like you just picked your logo off Canva, something like that. But I haven't had any submissions for that yet because I haven't started shooting it yet, or I haven't even started collecting results for it, but I'll probably make another forum for that. But if we go into my operational categories, people who are not me in the server can't see this, but I have one called Intercrew signups. And I've got a few test forms that some of them work, some of them didn't, and then I learned to change it. I'll go through why this is important in a moment. But in order to connect it to Discord, you have to go into your server settings here. There is a section called integrations, and then there is a subsection called webhooks. Now I've got one for my YouTube channel, which is whenever I upload to YouTube, it automatically publishes it in my announcement section, which is something I could show you in another video if you wanted. And then down here I have Intercrew applications, and you can copy the webhook URL here. If you don't have one, create a new webhook, and then you just need to rename it, and you can give it a color if you want. And that's it. Now, the important thing with Discord webhooks, I thought mine wasn't working for the longest time. The problem is actually that when you go into the URL, it will give you discord.com, but you need to change that to discordapp.com, and suddenly it works. And I didn't see any tutorials or official documentation that advised this, not from Elementor's side, not from Discord. I just found it in a random Reddit thread that I had to dig for about an hour or two to find. So I'm telling you now, you have to change the URL if it doesn't work from just the default webhook copy paste. Try the copy paste first. I don't know what determines if it works or not, but discordapp.com/ and then your webhook. Now, if we go through all the different fields that show up here, so this is the username, which means this is what will show up when the form is submitted. And I put Intercrew applications. Avatar URL, I linked to the image that I made for my Discord server logo, which you can see here. You can link to any image you want. It doesn't have to be hosted on your website, although it definitely helps. It just has to be hosted on a publicly accessible URL that Elementor can actually find. You can't just upload a photo, it has to be linked via a URL. Title, Intercrew application, description, and this is something that I personally don't need, but if you're operating on a business with multiple people, multiple staff, and you're onboarding a new person and they don't know what it is, then it will give you a little description here. This person wants to guest on Intercrew. This is also more important information when you have multiple forms feeding into one channel, like maybe a ticketing system, for example. So the form data is what you want to have checked to make sure you actually get the different data fields filled in the different results. If you don't check it, then you'll just get a random notification that this form has been filled out and you have a result. If you want the form data to actually feed through to the post, then that's what you need. And then there is a timestamp down here, which you have for Elementor's benefit. I decided to keep it as a data field on here because if I want to check it from the back end of my website, then I also have that option. It's not required, but it just makes me feel better, and I thought it looked nicer to have this extra data field here. And then timestamp 2, and then you can select a color that will show up, and that's the color on this little sidebar, so I kept the branding nice and consistent, even though it's literally just me who's going to see it, except for you now. Now, the one thing I want to talk about before I finish this is look here at this first attempt that finally made it through after I discovered the Discord app.com issue. Is it had the name, the email, and then this was just a bit squiggly of data field blah 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 blah, and I didn't know why. And the answer is because those data fields didn't have titles per se. So I've got my form fields here. Name is a pre-selected field, email is a pre-selected field, and these ones were custom fields that I had to define myself. So if you go into the advanced tab, you can see the ID. I've changed it to Discord username, and that's why it says down here Discord username tag, because earlier it was just these random squiggles of a data field. So that's what you need to make sure you're filling out if you want to know what the information coming through is, especially if you're, again, working on a multi-person team. Hopefully that information was really helpful to you. I do encourage you to join my Discord server because you can ask me about pretty much anything digital marketing. You can tell me if you want a certain concept covered in a video that I haven't done yet. I also recently had a guy reach out to me on Instagram who had seen one of my videos and felt the need to ask me a follow-up question because I hadn't covered it. If you want to do that in the Discord server, then other people can actually build on your question, and then you can have a sort of like a big group conversation if I'm not available or if I haven't got around to making the video yet. And it will help me understand what the most popular video requests are if you're all in one place. So I encourage you to join the Discord server and sign up to Intercrew and subscribe. Thank you.